I'd been on duty about 10, maybe 15 minutes, and a young lady came running into the front door of the hotel asking for somebody to phone an ambulance. I went with her and ran down the Crescent to see if I could assist in any way. It was quite clear that John had gone into a deep sort of shock. He was turning blue, and something needed to be done, and it needed to be done as soon as possible. So I took it upon myself to get down there and start to administer CPR. I couldn't find a pulse. It was clear that he wasn't breathing, and I started doing the basics of mouth to mouth and all the compressions that I'd been trained to do. I've never been able to walk away from somebody that's in trouble, but to get that feedback that you've affected somebody's life in that way, and John's been able to move on and have, well, hopefully many, many years to come to enjoy his children, to enjoy his grandchildren.
Well, I went out to do a pool test because I work as a personal trainer at Coombe Manor, and went out, saw James in the pool, waved, said hi, went down to do the pool test, came back, and when I came back he was lying on his back at the bottom of the pool.
Well, I heard about this thing called freediving, which is basically swimming for as long as you can, you know, on one intake of air. I didn't have anyone there supervise me, and I just thought, as you are when you're young, you just think, oh well, my body can take it, and you know, there's not going to be any danger involved in this.
I thought he was messing around at first, but when I jumped in and grabbed a hold of him, I could tell straight away that he wasn't. So pulled him up to the surface, and he was purple, face, lips were blue. So pulled him over to the side, pushed him out, got out and started CPR. After 4, 5, 6 chest compressions, he started throwing up a lot of blood, a lot of water, and started trying to suck in air again.
A genuine heroic act. I genuinely owe him my life.
An elderly gentleman had been assaulted at the scene by another unknown male for reasons unknown at that time.
Mr. Pepper is an elderly gentleman. He's very unsteady on his feet. The actual offender had him up by the neck, was trying to strangle him. So if it weren't for Gillian, obviously it would have been a whole lot worse. She intervened by pushing the gentleman to one side and stopping the gentleman actually assaulting Mr. Pepper anymore.
No one else, unfortunately, helped Mr. Pepper. When I met Gillian, she's a lady which I wouldn't have thought really would have stepped in when something like this would have happened. She's quite petite, she's quite small, quite quiet. Potentially, if Gillian hadn't have stepped in on that day, Mr. Pepper would have got really badly assaulted.
I think she's absolutely a brilliant lady for what she's done.